Hey everybody, welcome to the second Murmurations artist interview. This week I talk to Emily McFarling Bohórquez. Emily is an artist and activist from the Galapagos Islands, currently living in Aberystwyth. Please remember to go visit Emily's Instagram page, @thebuccaneerscove. Go visit her website, www.thebuccaneerscove.wordpress.com, and please remember to go to her Ko-Fi page, ko-fi.com/Emily McFarling, to buy her prints and hang them on your wall just like I did. Just before we get into the interview, I just wanted to show you a couple of my personal favourite place paintings from Emily, and just remind you that you can buy these prints from her Ko-Fi page. My personal favourite, which you can see on screen now, is actually hanging in my bedroom. We will talk about them later in the interview, but now I'll hand over to Emily.
Want to talk about the animation, maybe?
Yes, please.
I've done
Is
this
it?
little jellyfish.
Ooh, it's so cute. This corrupted mural.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah, it's actually me painting a mural. But I kind of took the mural out and I took a picture. I literally was just like, okay, I'm going to go take a picture of myself in the kitchen. And then I made myself glitch. I don't know why. I just did it. I thought it looked cool.
It does look cool.
I want to show you another one which I did. So my friends had released a song and I put their song behind this one. The band is called Dittmer. This was for our Planet Week, which was hosted by this illustrator called Asia Orlando. She's a really great illustrator. For this day, I had to do an illustration based on reduce and reuse, and it really inspired me to see like people who kind of like build eco houses and like they use like trash and make trash into something really valuable. I think there's like that saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So I really thought that was important. And yeah, there's some people who actually like use plastic bottles or glass bottles and make houses out of them. You know, you fill them with mud or clay. And you don't see that obviously in this country, but maybe in like developing countries.
Emily also told me about a project she's been involved with called Diario Grita. You should see it on your screen right now, and I urge you all to follow it on Instagram.
I'm an artivist. I paint it's a feminist movement in Galapagos, so it's for people who have been like sexually assaulted, raped, or just had any sort of like sexual harassment, or gender violence. So I paint. So I get some like cases. Sometimes I'm told the full story of what happened, and I have to base an illustration on the story without keeping the private stuff and
Without identifying details.
So but also trying to portray the hurt and the feelings and the strength as well of the person. It was more like giving people voices. It's just in Ecuador, if you're raped, if you're sexually harassed, it's not, you can tell the police don't really do anything about it. It's not prioritized. That kind of stuff just pisses me off. So it's also driving all my anger into like an illustration. Every day we get cases. Every day of girls, it's mainly girls. 1 every 100 is actually dealt with correctly.
That's horrific.
It's
really
horrific.
A really good cause.
It doesn't have to have happened to anyone for you to help people who have and raise your voice as well.
What's the name of this organisation?
Mi Diario Grita. Mi Diario Grita means my diary screams, or my journal screams. You can go follow them on Instagram. They have loads of things. This one's Spanish. Good place to practice your Spanish, I guess. Very welcoming community, very artsy. I do it with this girl called Emily McFarling. So she really wanted to make this an inclusive art organisation because she thinks that this way, by making art, it'll reach people, maybe make people understand a bit more. It shares emotion. She's really great. She's a dancer herself, so she's also an artist. I get a lot more out of my painting if other people can connect to it as well. And also why I use it for like activism as well. Yeah, if I can help people with my art, it just makes my art more enjoyable for sure. I did this mural to spread awareness of endangered species in the Galapagos, so especially the barn owl. And then like there was like people walking past at this point. There was this little local boy who he was like really interested, and I was like, hey, do you want to help me paint? And he was really up for it.
I discovered that Emily had been painting murals for quite some time. You can see several of them coming up on your screen now. Feel free to pause and admire them, but I'm afraid I don't have time to share all of the discussion we had about her murals. I found that another way that Emily shares her art to places local to her is that she paints people's surfboards. I mean, just look at some of these.
The squid.
I love the squid.
Yeah.
Whenever the squid comes out, I genuinely enjoy it.
That was really fun. Also did it in what, like 2 hours, I think?
2 hours?
Yeah, it was really easy. All you have to do is just like, paint, like draw the outline, paint it all pink, and then just add the little bits and pieces afterwards. But yeah, he's got a little spliff, and then a bottle of beer. So I started painting surfboards when I was 16. I don't know, it was the way that I think people started recognizing that I could paint, because they would just take their surfboards out and surf, and then everyone would see it, and then like I'd get like more surfers being like, hey, can you paint my surfboard? Because I always did it. I did it for free, because I was too shy to charge any money.
What was the first board you painted?
The first board I painted is actually here on my Instagram. It's Mandela on a neon yellow surfboard. It was my friend's. My friend Gerda Arenas. She because I've known her since I was a kid. She's always known that I really like painting, and she was like, "Emily, can you paint my surfboard?" It's like, "Of course." And I painted the surfboard, and she was just like, "Yeah," and I just painted my surfboard. And she's the most social person you'll know, and she did all the promotion for me without even asking. And then soon, the week after, I did this one.
This is the cat.
Crazy cat. I did this one. Yeah, gorillas. This was for a protest because the Chinese fishing vessel had come and fished 350 sharks or something. Thing is, it's not illegal because it was on the border of the marine reserve. But it was so many, and they just wait for the sharks to come out. So that we were all so angry. So there was a massive protest and march, and I painted this on the surfboard just to march with it with a friend.
It must feel very violating to the island, the community living there. We
do everything to look after the animals and stuff, and then here come mega consumers and just for something okay, thank you. So it's not very nice.
No.
Both my parents are naturalists, so they're guides. So they take people around the islands and show them the natural side. And then I came to the UK and I did a geography A-level, and then I started realising that there's really, everything's kind of surrounding humans. The world revolves around us in our minds and everything, that we have capitalism, even the ecology, we've made it evolve around us. That's my degree, geography. And what geography also brings me, especially within my dissertation, was a connection with people, right? So I think, I live with the connections. That's I love connections with people. And so my place collection also was inspired by my dissertation, because my dissertation was on sense of place. So as I interviewed people, as I did questionnaires and stuff, I wanted to see how people were more, how the strength of their sense of place was. So I also painted these just to see how people felt about them and how they connected to these places. And I thought that was a really good way of seeing how people were connected. And then geography in general is just, is knowing about landscapes, even geology, the geomorphology, and then as well people perspectives. So everything I paint is also what I study in geography, so it also gives an extra meaning. This was actually the second one I painted, and it's called Tortuga Bay because it's the beach I lived really close to from when I was born. It's like a 2.5 kilometer walk, and it's a surf beach, and the main points of it are like you get like these massive cacti. We call them huggable cacti because they don't have spikes, so you can actually hug them. And this is what they look like when they're young. We have Palo Santo trees, which make everything smell beautiful because it's like an incense.
Oh, really?
It's what incense is made of. Some of them, like if you go into like a church or something. So this is actually the arts university. My uncle's a photographer and an architect, and he always takes me around like the artsy places, like the really hippy dippy areas of the city, which is great.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. I love visiting it. And then the next one is also in Guayaquil. This is an area where I lived in on the edge of the city, which is just behind some hills, which are covered in like these massive green trees called cebos. And then the one below that's left is Cerro Tijeretas, which is I guess one place which I kind of rediscovered in my gap year. It's on a different island to mine. It's in an island called San Cristobal. It's like the place you would go if you're going on like a little romantic walk, or kind of like just a peaceful walk if you're kind of just wanting to go think. And then there's this little bay area where if you go snorkeling, you'll encounter any single animal, like loads of sea lions. You get a few penguins sometimes, sharks, really beautiful fish because it's like really crystal clear, and it is one of the most beautiful places, I think. I designed my friend's book cover. So she did over quarantine. She ended up writing a few of her travels around South America. So she came and visited me over my gap year. She visited me again in 2020 when I was there before coronavirus. And then she just wrote it, and she was like, Emily, I would really like you to just design the cover, and I did. And the book is called Gringo Girl, because that's what she was dubbed. So Gringa means kind of like foreigner. It can be not a nice term, but it can also just be like a friendly kind of thing, you know, what you call like people. You should go get Gringo Girl. It's available on Amazon for not a very large price. It's very good. It's by Lauren Dittmer.
Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please remember to go visit Emily's Instagram page, @thebuccaneerscove. Go visit her website, www.thebuccaneerscove.wordpress.com, and please remember to go to her Ko-Fi page, ko-fi.com/Emily McFarling, to buy her prints and hang them on your wall just like I did. Thank you for tuning in. Please visit Murmurations next time for more artist interviews and plenty more content. Thank you.